Hey guys, this is Drew Rutenbar, 3rd grade teacher at Eastwood Elementary in Sturgis, Michigan. This is my 5th year teaching at that school, and it is also a school that I went to school at. I chose this project because we spend a lot of time in 3rd grade teaching multiplication, and a lot of the teachers feel like a broken record. They just feel that after we've taught the initial properties and basically how to multiply, that it's doing the same thing over and over again. So I wanted to have create a resource site that had other options and ways to help teachers feel more creative when teaching multiplication. Another reason I did this is that I want my teachers to realize that it's not that hard to use Google Sites. It's pretty self-explanatory, step-by-step, similar to using a Microsoft Word document almost. The steps I took were I needed to create the Google site through my email. All of our schools now at Sturgis use Gmail, Google Drive, all those types of things related with Google. I collected all of my things that I had for multiplication. A lot of things had to be turned into PDF. Google does not work well with publisher files, Microsoft Publisher, and I prefer to use Publisher over Word. It just gives me a lot more freedom. So turning those publisher documents into PDFs, and then going out and reaching out online for other resources and talking to my other colleagues about what they had. This site is important because, like I said, the teachers feel like they're just doing the same thing, and so I compiled things that were different. I wanted to get some technology included because we have some older teachers who aren't as confident with the technology and are open about it, and so I wanted to show them some easy ways that they could include technology that would also make the education easier for them and hopefully get their kids more excited about it. This is a quick view of my website. On the left you can see all the options that we have for the different sites. I gave a little description about each one because this is also open to our parents. So if parents aren't sure what they're sending their kid to or they want to know more about it, there's a brief information about that page. What I learned is that Google Sites is pretty limited in what they allow you to do. We've talked a lot about open source and things like that this year in this class, and Google Sites is pretty limiting. If it's your first time building a website, it's a great starting place, but I don't feel that I was able to really do what I wanted with it. Also, I learned that a lot of my teachers I work with don't really use their computers for learning. They use it for the practicing aspect, going out and playing games and fact practice, things like that. But there's not much learning that gets done on the computers, so that's something that I'm looking currently to find other sites and resources that can help do the teaching. Just for another resource that the kids can use, a different way of hearing how it's taught. Just to open up the doors and so that people can realize you don't need it just for practice. There are good resources that can help actually educate the students. In the future, I'd like to have this site. I'd like to create a site using a different host that would allow me to do more of what I wanted. This is pretty much cut and paste what you want and where you want it, and it's limited with what you can include. I hope that the 3rd grade teachers, after introducing it to them now that they use this site in their classroom, I hope that they add to it. I've given them, you can share the rights with them with Google Sites. I've shared the rights. I hope that they feel comfortable enough adding stuff on there or giving me things, and I hope that other teachers use it. It's nothing crazy, but it's just another site that provides a chunk of resources all about one topic. I'd also like to see that this site is beneficial to my students. So I can directly see, do they like it, do they not like it, what's good, what's bad, and then tweak it from there as needed. And that is the end of my presentation. Like I said, the overall complaint that I have is really that Google Sites is a little limiting. Other than that, I enjoyed getting it together. So far, my students have enjoyed using it, and the teachers I've shared it with thought it was a good resource. So I hope that it does help out. That was the whole point, was to bring together some resources for our 3rd graders. If you have questions, please feel free to email me. The email address is there. Or if you have questions or comments in the Google+, please feel free to do it there. Thanks for watching.